Hello, welcome to Full Record Jacket with Phil and Ben. And tonight,
Tonight.
go into the realm of football. Yeah, I've allowed Ben a one-off that we can talk about football, as long as there's a musical connection and that we don't actually talk about football.
Football itself.
But we are in the middle of, as we record this, the middle of the European Football Championships.
Yeah.
So
England have been predictably disappointing.
okay, but they seem to be doing okay, don't they? But I mean, in the sense, they haven't lost, so that's not bad, is it?
No. And blimey, right, I almost knocked my glass over there. And to be fair with you, Philster, I have in this championships, Harry Kane has only scored one more goal than I've scored at these championships. So I think I'm doing pretty well at the moment.
Now, the question you wanted to ask was, has there been a decent football song?
Yes.
And so, has there?
And I think there has. But what I'm going to do, because I've just come up with this off the top of my head, and it's a big head, is I've just gone into Radio X, and they've got a top 10 football song thing here. And I'm going to go through it, and you can tell me, one, if you remember it, and if you do remember it, if it was any good. And then we can work it out at the end. There's 10. So if we think it's rubbish, we're going to say it's rubbish. So it'll be 1-0. Okay?
Yep.
Right. So number 10, they have... I should have actually not done that. What I should have done is actually got some awful ones thrown in, because these are the 10 best ones according to Radio X. So I can imagine that Anton Decken, We're on the Bull, and the Delamitri song from 1998 for Scotland is probably not going to be in there.
I don't remember that one.
Well, you're probably not going to remember any of these, Philster. So this is going to be the world's worst countdown.
I know a few, but are these ones that were obviously these are national team ones?
Yes, yeah.
For usually the World Cup, isn't it? Are they actually? Do they do them for the Euros?
Well, this is just.
Well, I suppose Three Lions was for the Euros, wasn't it?
It was, yes, yeah. So, I mean, I've just looked through the list. The list isn't really, because I think U2 did one for
Ireland.
One of the World Cups. They did like the official song for the World Cup. So what I'll do is we'll quickly go through these.
Okay.
And then I'll find some more that we can see if they're any good. So at number 10, according to Radio X, is the 5678's, a Japanese band cover, and it's of a song called Woohoo.
It's that's in Kill Bill, wasn't it? That was
yeah.
Kill Bill, yeah.
It was used in the 2004 Carling ad for the Euros in 2004.
Yeah, that's what it goes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually quite like that. It's sort of punk Japanese.
Yeah.
Girl, but bizarre. But yeah.
So we're saying 1-0 to the songs.
But does that really count as a football song? Because that wasn't written to be a football song.
No, but I think these are because they're associated with football. So they're either used in marketing campaigns or it's not really the ethos of what I was trying to get to as a salt. But I've just thought we'll go through this list and then we'll discuss a few more. The next one says 1-0 to songs. Embrace, World at Your Feet. This is the England tune from 2006.
I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember. I do remember it, and I remember it being very embracey.
I remember that's when that was the World Cup in Germany. Am I right on that?
Yes, it would have been. Yeah. I'm sure that's one where Joe Cole scored that goal against Sweden, where he disappointingly ended up drawing. I don't think it's a bad track.
Okay. So, I can't remember it.
No, this is not going well. But anyway, at 8, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. It was... it found its way into the FIFA World Cup game.
That's one of those songs which I can't actually decide whether I like it or not.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's quite...
Do you know what I mean by that? That sometimes I can sort of enjoy it, and other times I think it's annoying.
Yeah, if I hear it once a year, that's enough. I can live with that. Any more than that, and I'm like,
I think do you remember when we did our one hit wonder
yes,
thing?
yeah.
When was that? When did we do that?
Last year.
It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We had a playlist of all those 90s one hit wonders, and that was
Yeah.
one of them.
yeah.
I remember I was exercising with my headphones on, and Tub Thumping came on. I get knocked down, I get up again. And at that point,
Yeah.
it was great because it
Yeah.
got me moving around.
But if you're at a funeral, it's not really.
No, exactly. So
that's in there. So are we saying it's a?
it does kind of work for football, doesn't it? But
It does, doesn't it? But I wouldn't say it's an out and out football song.
It's not a football song. It's an adopted terrace anthem, isn't it? Really.
So we're going to throw that into.
Go on, throw that in.
So it's 2 Wanta songs. Next one is one I actually really like, and I actually discussed it with you the other day, and it's Fat Les and Vindaloo.
Yes, and I must admit that grew on me. When I first heard that, I didn't think much of it at all.
Yeah, I think I was the same.
And then I think more was made of the video
with Dennis Pennis playing Richard Ashcroft.
Yeah. At the time, it was all focus was on the video. I didn't think much of the song really at all. But then, having heard it more over the years, I think it's quite catchy and fun. So,
was it Keith Allen? Was it?
That was him. It was Keith Allen.
Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. So yeah, that's in. I think that's a good song because I think it's different.
Yeah.
I think it's away from the norm of a football song, but
it sounds like a terrace anthem.
Yeah,
and it's also and it's a bit of humour and whatever. So I don't. That's fine. Yeah, I'll go with that.
So 3-1 to the football songs so far. Number 6, it's 3-2 because it's Idlewild. And I don't know the song. It was used in a FIFA game. It's You Held the World in Your Arms, which sounds terrible. I'm not a massive fan of Idlewild. I saw him live once, and all I can describe him as Bone Idlewild because it bored me to death.
Yeah, I don't think I would probably be excited by it. So I think I can go along with that.
So 3-2.
Yeah.
Right, next up is 5. It is Collapsed Lung and Eat My Gold. Do you remember that?
No.
Do you not remember it?
I really don't remember that. No.
I'll tell you what, if you got your phone on you, pop it in your ears. Have a listen. It's got quite a
Eat My. Did you say Eat My Gold?
Gold. G-O-A-L.
Oh, goal, of course. Sorry, I'm being a bit dim. It's a football song. Yeah. Oh, Eat My Goal. Collapsed Lung.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it to my ear so that it doesn't get picked up on the mic.
Yeah.
Though the intro is kind of familiar.
Yeah. I think it was used on, I'm sure it was in adverts. I'm sure Coca-Cola used it.
I've heard this for sure.
Yeah. I think.
It was better when it was just an intro.
Are you actually hearing it now?
Yeah, we're now into the rap now.
Oh, this is where Phil just gets all. Look at him. He just got that face on him.
He's got that. He sounds like someone I want to slap.
He literally. That's the same face you pull when I took you to that reggae club.
I know the one now. It's not as good as some of the ones we've discussed.
So 3-3.
3-3.
Right, next one. I'm not a massive fan of this band, but there's something about this song, and it's The Farm all together now, that makes my spine tingle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. All together now. All together.
But this is a football fan thing because you've obviously sung along to it at a match.
No, never at a match. No, they don't play it at Coventry. No.
Don't they? Okay.
No, we're far more sophisticated.
Far better than that.
It's Bach and Beethoven.
Oh, right, yeah. And later Radiohead, probably.
Radiohead, yeah. The experimental phase. Yeah, Radiohead, yeah. Kraftwerk.
Well, which song are we talking about again?
Oh, that is that makes it 4-3 straight away. The fact that you Can't even remember the track. At the farm altogether.
No,
now.
all together. Okay,
Yeah. All together now.
Do you know
All
what?
together.
I don't want to pee on your bonfire, but
Pee
I'm
on my
not-
chips.
I've never. I know I was never really. I never really liked the farm.
Yeah. No. Noel Gallagher
And
didn't either.
I
They were
really
signed
agree.
to Creation, weren't they?
Is that right? Okay, I know they're
Yeah.
on an indie label.
Yeah.
I think I agree. I agree with Noel that there's something about their music that something about it feels forced and put on. That they were playing up to doing whatever they thought would be cool.
Yeah. I think
And
when he
it's not-
signed
and
for
it's not
Creation,
what they. It doesn't feel like it natural. I don't know.
naturally occurs.
No, is that the way to put it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you listen to Oasis. I mean, some people don't like Oasis, fine, but it just sounds like that's them. That's the noise they made.
Yeah,
That's what came right out of them.
I can see that.
Whereas with the farm, it's sort of like it almost feels like it was, and I'm not saying it was, but as if it was producer led.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was, but that's what it sounds like. That we'll produce this song for you, and you just go on and sing it. They may have written it all themselves, and they may have completely had all the ideas themselves.
Yeah.
But it just feels a little bit kind of, I don't know. That's just how it feels to me.
Plastic.
Yeah, and then I got a bit annoyed by hearing "Groovy Train" all the time.
Oh yeah,
I got annoyed with
that song. Yeah.
And then altogether now, I never liked it.
Oh, did you not?
But
I did.
I never liked it. But I know that people do like it. A lot of people did like it, and I don't want to slag it off because people.
It was written about the football match played in the trenches.
Yes, and that's the thing about it. That was the thing that it was. Altogether now in no man's land. All that, but for some reason, it just never really resonated with me. But I can see why people would like it. But it does have the football anthem thing as well.
Yeah. Are we calling this a draw? Because I quite like it. I mean, I know when Oasis signed with Creation, Noel Gallagher made them turn all the pictures of the farm over before he'd sign.
But you can have it if you like, because we are discussing whether it's good for football. So
okay, so it's 4-3 to the football songs.
Yeah, if you're drunk and with a lot of football fans, it could become good. So yeah,
I'll tell you what. One I'm going to throw in before I get Alive and Kicking by Simple Minds, because that was used to promote the Premier League when it started. Alive and kicking,
and it contains the word "kicking," which is so appropriate, isn't
for
it?
football. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you can have that one.
5-3 to the football songs.
A lot better than the farm, anyway.
Yes, anyway, we're into music, football. Now, I think they've got this at number 3. I think this is possibly the best football song ever recorded after Go For It City, the Coventry City 1987 FA Cup final song. That is a masterpiece. Lyrically, Trevor's at his peak because his name's Trevor Peak. Kilcline lurks about. Oggy keeps them out because he's the goalkeeper. Lyrical masterfulness, that is.
Does it really say Trevor's at his peak? Because
Trevor's at his peak. Kilcline lurks about. Oggy keeps them out. Yeah, that's the Sky Blues. Obviously, we can't include that because it would just be hammer home the advantage for the football songs. But it's World in Motion, New Order. Which
I like that.
That is a good football song.
Yeah,
because it includes football, but it could not even be about football. Yeah, apart from the John Barnes rap.
Apart from the John Barnes rap, it could have just been, without listening too much to the lyrics, it could have just been another very good New Order record.
It could have been, yeah.
But and I know some people think the John Barnes rap is bad, but I think it kind of has a charm of its own, doesn't it?
I think it does, yeah. And Barnesy is still performing that rap wherever he can.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Catch Me If You Can? Because I'm the
England man. Yeah.
3 lines on my chest, I can't go
Can't go
wrong. Or
wrong,
something.
yeah.
I can
It's
even
like-
remember bits of this, so it must be.
This
It
ain't
must have
no
made me-
hooligan. Or I can't remember all the rest.
There's something about you've got to beat them round the back or something.
There's only
something
one way to beat them: get round the back.
That's right.
Now
I
catch
mean-
me if you can, because I'm the England man, and what you're looking at is the master plan.
So it must have worked very well because even I can remember a fair bit of it. So
I remember doing the dance at. I left. No, that was. I remember at a school, like end of year thing at middle school, and dancing to that. No, I love New Order, World in Motion. That's it. When it comes on, because obviously got the football commentary, a bit like Three Lions when it comes on, and as soon as you hear it, it's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that's a good football song, isn't it? So football, what we at 6-3. Don't worry, people who don't like football songs. There will be a comeback because I'm going to throw some more into the pot, which are awful. Now, I don't know this song. Their number 2 is a Manic Street Preacher song for Wales at Euro 2016. It comes at number 2. I don't know it. You probably don't know it. So therefore, we can't rate it.
So therefore, it shouldn't really be in there at all anyway, should it?
Yeah, because if we don't know it, and we are the oracles of music.
Who's it by again?
The Manic Street Preachers, little Welsh band.
I guess.
They might make it big one day.
What was it called?
It was called Together Stronger, Come On Wales.
It's here. It's on my phone.
Here he goes. Let's watch the face turn into disgust as he listens
There's
to
a bit
James
of
Dean Bradfield.
they're building up to an intro with
some Nicky Wire.
This commentary about Wales qualifying, I think.
No, right.
And then there's some guitars now.
When's that from? The 50s?
It sounds like there's sort of orchestrated arrangement on it as well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hear it very clearly on my phone, but was this the 98 France?
No. They didn't.
This is now France. This is now France has arrived. This is the Euros, was it?
Yeah. They were in France in 2016.
Yeah, as I say, back in '98, the Manics would have been a bit too cool to do a football song, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Wales would have never have qualified anyway.
Yeah. It's going back into even more commentary now. It's very much jingoistic for Welsh fans.
Is it?
I think you have to be a Welsh fan to love it, I think.
So we saying now 6-4.
I think so. I can't really put that one through. Sorry, Welsh fans, but it's not not universally great. It's great for you, but not for anyone else.
No. So number 1 is obviously Three Lions. Now I'm basing this purely on the original version because obviously they released it again in '98 and then they released it again for the last World Cup.
Okay.
And
did they sing new vocals on it for the last one?
They do, yeah.
Is their singing even worse than it was on the original?
Well, Frank Skinner isn't too bad. It's David Baddiel his ability to sing.
It's about my level, really.
Yeah, it's about our level, to be fair. So
no, I think you're better than him, to be honest.
Do you reckon? Yeah. I think as a football song goes, that's a good football song.
It is good, and it's well written, and it's cleverly done, and it was good.
Yeah. So that's 7-4.
Okay.
So now I'm going to throw in some more for you, and I'm going to type in football songs, and we'll try and make it. So in 2010, you won't know this one at all, Phil. We had "Shout" by Dizzy Rascal, which already sounds absolutely awful. But no, I'm going to go down now. There was one, obviously, "On the Ball" by Ant and Dec.
I don't. I vaguely remember the title of that. I can't say I remember the record. I'm not sure would I want to.
No, it was awful. Absolutely awful. Are you
Yeah.
finding it out? Go on, find out. See if you
No,
can
I
find
don't
it.
think. I don't think I want to.
No, it was pretty poor. That was for
Official England song.
it was the official England song. Yeah, yeah.
2002. Well, was that
Yes, it
Japan? Was
was.
that
Yeah,
Japan?
yeah. Japan and Korea. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on the ball. We're on the ball.
Oof.
We're on the ball. We're on the ball.
Yeah.
Is it sounding awful?
It sounds like it was produced by Stock Aitken and the Waterman.
Yeah, in a swamp.
Oh dear, they're both singing on it. Oh dear, Dex rapping on it, and it's not good.
No, it's awful, isn't it?
Oh dear me. So about the man who's got a plan, we found the super Swede.
Yeah, nice bit of rhyming there.
Oh dear, that was bad.
That's awful, isn't it? So that makes it 7-5.
Okay.
The next one I'm going to throw your way is by Atomic Kitten, and it's called. Do you remember their big hit? Baby, you're the one.
The ballad is
Me
"You Make Me Whole Again" or
Hold
something.
Again, yeah. But they did one for 2021 called
Like you're going to score a goal again or something.
No, Southgate, You're the One.
Dear
Southgate,
me.
You're the One.
I don't think I need to hear that.
So you're saying that's going to be awful?
It's got to be, surely.
So that's 7-6.
Okay.
So I will.
It would have been better if they'd done "We're going to score a goal again."
Well, yeah. Well, back in I think it was 1998. I think it was. I'm just having a look in at. I found it. It was the official England song for the 1998 World Cup. It was written by Ian McCulloch of Echo and the Bunnymen.
Okay.
And Johnny Marr, him of Thy Smiths fame.
So it should have some cred then, yeah.
It should have some cred. And on it, it's a super group. And it's got Echo and the Bunnymen, Ocean Colour Scene, Birmingham's Finest, Space, and the Spice Girls. And it's called How Does It Feel to Be on Top of the World? And I remember it at the time, and I thought it was absolutely awful. He's going.
You got some guitars.
It's got some guitars, yeah. That's about the only good thing I think it's got going for it.
Got some drums. The drums are quite good. As it builds up.
I'll tell you what Rio Ferdinand and Ian Wright said about it when you've finished listening to it.
Oh dear.
Oh, here we go. He's in the reggae club. Oh no. They're doing reggae jazz. It's an all-nighter. Look at his. Oh, look!
It's really difficult, isn't it, to do a football song and that's actually good, because most of them, even when they're done by people that are talented, are bloody awful.
Yeah. Well, I'll quote you here. Ian Wright and Rio Ferdinand described it in the Daily Mirror as bollocks and rubbish, respectively. So that's the kind of level of
that was the FA's official song.
That was the FA's official song.
I'm sure they were thrilled with the comments from those two. I don't imagine they were retired by then, had they? I suppose.
Yeah, who? Rio Ferdinand? No, Rio Ferdinand was still playing in '98. He was young. He was very young at the time. But
yes, he was 98. Yeah, okay.
So that makes it 7-all, Philster, which, in the great scheme of things, tells us one thing: that it is neither good nor bad. It is neither easy or hard to write a football song, and there is just as many good ones as there are absolutely awful ones with the Spice Girls singing them and Ant and Dec.
What about Back Home by the 1970 England squad?
Do you know what? I listened to that today.
Yeah,
That's actually not a bad track. I mean,
it's better than a lot of the ones we've just talked about.
it is. It is. Are you throwing that into the mix
I
as
could throw that
deciding?
one in.
As far as because it's got that little jaunty bit at the start, that's not a. It's as far as the time goes and stuff. It's not a bad track.
Maybe it was the best performance by that England squad.
Yeah, it
that
probably was. Yeah, yeah.
it was, because it wasn't a very successful tournament for England, was it, that one?
I don't know. I wasn't born, Phil.
Yeah, but you know all the football history geek facts, so
do,
you
yeah,
should
yeah.
know this.
So I think what we have come to conclusion is there is more. I mean, obviously we didn't go into a lot there, and we did go through a top 10 list, but there was to write a proper football song is not easy because 99% of the time they are awful.
I think, is it also the fact they're being written to order? Someone's asked you, can you write a song about this? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's no really, it's all forced, isn't it, rather than being inspired, and that's
Inspired. But the thing with World in Motion, I think, where that stands alone from other football songs is that doesn't sound forced. That sounds like that they already had that song.
Did they already have? Did they have the tune already knocking around?
I would have thought they would have done, and then they've just pushed in that because the only football reference in it really is the rap.
Yeah, what's the other? Well, Love's Got the World in Motion, etc. None of that is. Nothing in those lyrics is about football.
I'm pretty sure. I'll tell you what. I'll bring it up, and I'm pretty sure there is no because you've obviously got the commentary from the '66 World Cup final at the start, haven't you?
Yeah, so maybe that's what makes you think it's about football without having anything.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. But no, because I'm just bringing up the lyrics now, and I forgot the first verse does go: "Express yourself, create the space. You know you can win. Don't give up the chase. Beat the man, take him on. You never give up. It's 1-on-1." But that could relate to anything. That could be a duel, or any sort of.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little non-specific in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
I wonder whether they had that as a partially finished song or an unreleased song, and then they sort of tweaked it a bit, and then.
Yeah. And obviously, you had the big outro. We're playing for England.
Yeah. Well, they obviously just had that on, don't you?
Yeah. That's obviously been added on to the bottom end. But I think.
I'm now looking it up.
He is looking up. You got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line.
So, World in Motion is a song by the British band New Order, performed with the England national football team, credited as England New Order.
Yeah.
The song is their only #1 song in the UK and was produced at 1990 FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
It also features
Keith Allen.
Yeah, he co-wrote some of the lyrics.
Yeah, he's in the video for it.
So is that how he got to do Vindaloo? Because he'd already
possibly,
done
yeah.
So Bernard Sumner described it in NME as the last straw for Joy Division fans.
Oh, really?
Noting that
obviously it came 2 years later, but the regret cover would have proper
So the upbeat sound had inverted their former band's famously gloomy image. The song was originally going to be called E for England, but the FA vetoed it because they said it could be construed with ecstasy.
Ecstasy, yeah.
So the song, apparently, a guy called David Bloomfield, who was the FA's press officer,
I remember was
a fan of Joy Division and New Order. So he got in touch with Tony Wilson from Factory Records and suggested it. And Tony Wilson agreed. And he said he thought that all of the previous England tunes were pants, apart from Back Home that we just talked about.
Yeah, which I think is a pretty good song for its time, if you know what I mean.
He said he'd also noticed that John Peel had occasionally played tracks by American football teams, deeming them good enough to play on his show, supposedly without a hint of irony.
Oh.
And he'd also heard a track by Colourbox called "The Official Colourbox World Cup Theme," which he thought was good. I've never heard that, but
No, I've never even heard of them.
And then he said he was watching television one night, watching Best and Marsh, which was a program where they had football chat and action clips. And so when the credits ran at the end of the program, he noticed that the theme music was provided by New Order. And then he said that was when he realised that New Order could do that.
Do the music.
Apparently, there was a bit of a standoff between the agent acting on behalf of the players and Tony Wilson of Factory Records, and Bloomfield had to act to get the parties talking because the players were not that willing to get involved because there had been so many rubbish World Cup
records. They weren't.
I
listened on a podcast. I think it might have been with Stuart Pearce, and he was talking about that song and sort of that the players weren't really that interested in being in the video because there's not many of them in the video.
No, and apparently a lot of them didn't know much about New Order as well. So because New Order were a bit of a cult band, weren't they? I suppose. So
yeah. So
6 players. Apparently, the FA requested that the players be involved.
I think Paul Gascoigne's in it. I think obviously
Barnes,
John
Barnes, Beardsley, Gascoigne, McMahon,
Walker,
Waddle, and Walker.
Yeah.
So that was that. Anyway, I won't read any more about that. But
you're getting it is quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but we are saying I think "World Emotion" is the best football song ever.
Yes, I think I could listen to that more than Three Lions. I think Three Lions was good. The thing is, though, we've heard Three Lions. It's been done a lot, hasn't it? Sung a lot, done a lot, and it's become such a part of the common currency. It's perhaps taken a bit of the specialness away from it.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, at the time, it didn't really kick off. It was only really after, because obviously in that 96 Euros, we drew the first game to, is it Switzerland? It was only really after the Scotland game that it started gathering momentum. I would like to say, for the record, that I bought it the week it came out.
Did you really? Well,
yes, on CD single. But it took a little bit of time for it to, people say it was the song to the soundtrack of that summer, but it did take a few weeks for it to really get going.
Well, they got to the second round and fans were singing it, weren't they, in the stadium?
Yeah. Well, I think Frank Skinner said on a podcast I was listening to that it was only sort of, was it the Holland game? Could have been the Scotland game. I think it was the Holland game when they first really heard people singing it in the crowd.
Now, was that when they beat? Now, did they? Now, let me see if I can test my memory on this. Did they beat the Netherlands 4-1?
4-1, yeah. Paul Ince, Teddy Sheringham, and Shearer, I think, scored. I think Sheringham or Shearer got 2, I think.
Yeah, was that? I'm thinking it was Alan Shearer scored 2 goals.
I think it might have been, and then Patrick Kluivert scored for Holland.
How the hell I'm remembering anything about football?
Well, you actually went to a game in those tournament.
I did. I went only because a friend had got free tickets through his job, but I went to the England and Spain match, which was I think that was quarter-final.
It was. Were you there when Stuart Pearce? Were you at that point where
I was there, but I was down the other end of the stadium from where the penalties. We were sort of behind a goal to one in the sort of corner of the stadium.
Yeah. I would repeat what Stuart Pearce says then, but we'll probably get censored. So
it was the penalty shootout was happening down the other end.
Was it stressful? Being a non-football man like yourself.
Well, it was because it was always stressful when England had done a penalty shootout. So it was quite exciting and it was amazing because we actually won. And I think was that the only time England ever won a penalty shootout? It was the first time they'd won one. I think.
It was yes, and it was the last time we won one until was it the Colombia in 2018, wasn't it?
Oh, was that right? Yeah.
Because then we lost. I think there was 2 penalty shootouts against Portugal that we flopped in the early 2000s, etc. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's usually a nightmare for England, isn't it? So
yes, yeah.
I can say I was in the old Wembley Stadium
You
when
were.
England won a penalty shootout.
You were.
And that
That's
viewer
how
is
old you
all.
are.
Well, that is all the football talk we're going to do.
That is. But
Ben has been indulged for 35 minutes.
But I think we have looked at, the football song as a genre. To be fair, we didn't go into like the FA Cup songs and that, because a lot of them, apart from Come On City, were absolutely awful. Apart from Come On You Reds, the Man United song from the 92, 93 FA Cup final. Come on, you Reds, for 90 minutes. Then lead your Reds for 90 minutes. We'll let them know it's Man United. Here we go.
That sounds
It was
fantastic.
It was with Status Quo. That
Really?
wasn't a bad
Okay.
football song, actually. But a lot of those FA Cup final songs were goddamn awful as well. So, but yeah, thank you, Phil, for indulging my,
That's okay. Viewer, are there any other football songs we should have considered? And if so, stick them in the comments. In the meantime, it is full time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.